Welcome to my... Okay, I can't get this perfect. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. It's hard. Okay, let's be serious. Okay guys, for today's video, I'll be sharing about how my photography started and a little bit about my wedding workflow. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if it's your first time to come across my channel here in YouTube, I just want to welcome you and thank you for clicking this video. And I also just want to do a little bit of introduction. So my name is Melody Gilliland. I'm a wife, a mom, and I'm also a photographer, and this is my first year doing wedding photography. My love for photography started after my husband bought me my first ever DSLR camera when I gave birth to my daughter. It was very precious. It was just like a Canon T5, I think Canon EOS Rebel T5 camera. And then the original plan was just to use it to capture my daughter's milestones, memories of her growing up. But then eventually my love for photography grew and grew, and then this passion kind of like sparked inside of me. And I started researching and spending a lot of time going to YouTube, watching videos, watching tutorials on what are the best camera settings and what are the best Lightroom editing. And then I followed professional photographers and I started signing up for their free online trainings, and then I eventually applied everything that I learned from those trainings in my own photography. Then after that, people started noticing me. People started messaging me. Families and friends started asking me to take their pictures. And then what I did is I collaborated with one or two of the bloggers, our local bloggers here in our town, and I took their pictures, and it really helped me a lot too. My goal was just to hone my skill, to put my name out there, and also to build up my portfolio. And eventually people are just starting noticing me and starting messaging me, and that's how my photography business started. I can say that my editing style has changed and evolved throughout the years. I actually started with a very dark and moody editing at first, but then after some research and some reading and some practice as well, I eventually settled to my the photography style that I have right now, which is light and airy. So this time last year, I remember praying and hoping to photograph my first ever wedding. My only wish is just to capture a very small and intimate wedding. So when one of the bloggers that I used to photograph with, she has at least 2,500 followings on Instagram. When she got engaged, I secretly wished that I can photograph her wedding, and I will even do it for free. Little did I know, she was actually already eyeing me to be her wedding photographer. So when I received her email one day, I can't believe my eyes, and I was just like jumping for joy because what I prayed for and what I wished finally came true. And then she booked me right away, and it was my first booking, my first paid booking, and I didn't do it for free. So I photographed my first ever wedding with at least 200 guests on March 2020, and it was the perfect day. And what I did was I did it all by myself, no second shooter whatsoever. And it was the perfect day. After her wedding, people started messaging me, brides started emailing me and asking me about my wedding package. And that's how I booked at least 6 more weddings after that. I actually already photographed 3 weddings this year, and I will be photographing 4 more weddings before the year ends. I mean, that number might not be too much for other photographers, but for me it means so much because I only prayed for 1 wedding for year 2020, but then I booked 6 more after that, and that was really a blessing for me. So when I entered the wonderful, crazy world of shooting weddings, I actually don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. But then after some research, I outlined a workflow that works best for me, and I want to share that workflow to you guys. I want to share it to aspiring photographers and to photographers who are just beginning like me, and I hope it will help you with your wedding journey and with just the wedding experience that your clients will have. So I will be doing 2 videos about my wedding workflow. The first video consists of the things or the outline I follow before the actual wedding, and then the part 2 will cover the things or the outline that I follow after the wedding. And then a wedding workflow is just a system that I use or I follow to ensure that I deliver the services that is perfect or close to perfect, and then that I can deliver a very unique and consistent client experience to my bride and groom. First of all, to book brides and couples, I always make sure that everything in my social media is up to date. What I mean by that is that I just make sure that everything in my Instagram, in my Facebook, and in my blog consists of updated images or information from my latest session. Because I found out, or I discovered, that most of my couples actually found me on social media. So I just want to make sure that when they go to my social media page, when they go to my blog, when they go to my Instagram, they can see up-to-date images or information, so that I can give them the best services that I could offer. So when a bride or a couple message me or email me, I always make sure that I can be as prompt as possible. I make sure that I answer their emails right away, and I answer their messages or reply to their messages on time. And when they officially booked me, I always schedule for a meetup. Or sometimes if they live far away from where I live, or if they live like 2 hours on an hour from where I live, I usually just schedule a Skype or a FaceTime appointment with them. In that way, I can walk them through the client contract or the wedding contract, and I also kind of help them write a timeline or draft a timeline for their wedding. And then I send them or I give them a welcome gift. What I put in my welcome gift varies every time. Sometimes I gave them this luggage tags, and also like lately my latest find was this devotional guide for couples from Ross. And then I just put that in a very beautifully arranged box with a card, maybe a chocolate. And then in that way, it's just like a very thoughtful and simple gift, just to make your bride and groom feel loved and feel welcomed to your photography family. In our meeting, I also talk about our engagement session. It is the time that we schedule our engagement session, because in my wedding package, I offer a complimentary engagement session that consists of a 2-hour session with 2 outfit changes and 2 location changes. So in that way, I can offer it to my bride and groom, and sometimes they even already have had their engagement sessions taken if they have a photographer in the family. So it is just like a choice or an option for them if they want to avail the offer or not. And during the meeting or a month before their wedding, I usually send them out with a wedding checklist or a wedding questionnaire. The wedding checklist and the wedding questionnaire just ensures that everything will go hopefully smoothly in the wedding, and it will prevent possible problem on the day of the wedding. And it also consists of the list of their wedding day, their vendors list, their family formal list, and a drafted timeline for their wedding day. It will just make sure that everything will go smoothly and your bride and groom will have a great client experience on their wedding day. These 2 weeks before their wedding, I always message my brides for their finalized timeline. And in that way, I can look at it and then see what works best for photos. And I can also make significant changes that will work for me and for the brides as well. And during that time too, I always ask my brides to either send me or save me a copy of their wedding invitation. There are actually a lot of purpose for doing that. First of all, if ever I end up forgetting when the wedding is going to be, then I can just look up at that wedding invitation. And also, I will be using that in photographing the wedding details as well. because sometimes the bride has a lot of things in their mind and they forget to send you the wedding invitation or to save you the wedding invitation. So at least saving it ahead of time can kind of save the stress from them. And when talking about the wedding details, I also message my bride to save me if ever they have leftover flowers during that day. I just ask them to kind of save those for me, and also set aside the stuff that they want me to take for their wedding details, like their shoes, their veil, both of their rings or their engagement ring, their wedding gown, and just like flowers or stuff or jewelries that they want me to photograph. At least 2 days before the wedding, I always prep my gear. What I do is I clean my camera, I make sure that everything is charged, and also make sure that the batteries for the flashes are good and ready to go. And then I clear my memory cards and format them. And I also get ready myself. I also prepare myself for the wedding. I always make sure that I get some rest. I prepare my outfit, and getting enough sleep, because I'll be up all day on my feet carrying that gear, and that can be very tiring. So I always make sure that I am well rested so that I can serve my bride and groom even more. I just want to remind you guys that workflows differ from every photographer's. Whatever works for me might not work for you. And these are just the things that you can follow. It will serve as a guide if you just now booked your first ever wedding and you don't know what to do. So this can serve as your jump start. And it really helped me, and I hope it will help you too. If you are a first-time wedding photographer or a beginner like me, you can actually search all those documents that I mentioned on Etsy. What I do is I just search wedding contract, wedding checklist, or wedding questionnaires, and it will give you an option of the things that you can download. In that way, you can give a very professional looking documents to your bride and groom. As I mentioned earlier, I will be posting a part 2 of this wedding workflow or wedding outline episodes. In my second video, I will be sharing or talking about the things or the system that I follow after the actual wedding. And then I hope you guys will watch out for that. Again guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any photography tips that you want me to share, or if you have any video ideas that you want me and my family to do, then don't hesitate to message me. You can message me anytime. And if you want to see more videos of me and my family and photography tips like this, then don't forget to click the like button and also hit subscribe. Again, thank you guys. It means so much to me that you spent your time watching this video, and I will see you on my next video. Bye!